Small suffering. Small sufferings is about the small sufferings we experience in life, given a cold, a hurting pinky, a headache, your car breaking down, psychological sufferings. The small sufferings and how they can provide benefit to oneself going forward, usually to the extent of an equal opposite benefit to the sufferings you endure. This is based on karma. It is also based on Newton's law of equal and opposite reaction for those who prefer more evidence-based. And yes, we will explain that in the paragraphs to come. A small realization is that the minor annoyances in life tend to pay off through good karma into the future. It is like a debt is owed towards the yin and yang of life. If life is traveling too beautifully, it needs to be evened out with a little misfortune. These small sufferings, such as your car breaking down, a study crisis, a saddened day, and so much more, sufferings difficult in the moment, but also have no detrimental effect on your life. They're like taking small ounces of bad luck, so you don't get hit with a whirlpool, and life can continue working in its positive direction. When small misfortune in life strikes, small favor usually follows. It is better to face our burdens in an incremental way through a cold or a stubbed toe than to be hit with a large portion of misfortune all at once. When small sufferings occur, see them in a positive light, bad karma being taken care of. Siege through them with patience and the expectation that you suffer in these minor insignificant ways so that goodness may keep its positive influential flow through more meaningful aspects in your life. So it is saying that we suffer in small ways to take off the big karmic suffering that we need to overcome. Yes, a bit of a wig out. But essentially, a lot of people say life is suffering. Can be or it can't be. It's up to you in a sense. But yes, technically we need to go through hardship, and sometimes these small sufferings can be that hardship for us. It doesn't always need to be a massive explosion, exponential event that traumatizes us and destroys us. Sometimes it's just a cold here, a study crisis. These little events which make us stress out in the moment, but then this stress, once the moment is complete, we get more happiness out of being through the moment, for one, and two, we grow a little bit as well, because through stress we grow. So what to do with it? Understand that these small sufferings you're having, if perceived correctly, can provide more benefit to your life. They are necessary for us to grow, and they are necessary for us to experience the opposite emotions of happiness. Once we're through a sickness, we are happy once more, and we're probably doing better than we were than before the sickness started. So, now on to the evidence base of small sufferings. This topic is not evidence-based. No universal law grants it to be true, but it does follow a theory which we can all wrap around our head. Newton's law of equal opposite reaction. In physics, this law states that when swimming, you push the water backwards to propel yourself forwards. And in psychology, the theory is displayed through adversarial and post-traumatic growth. That which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. When someone wrestles to overcome a major crisis in life, they grow in unimaginable ways to the opposite degree. The same phenomenon occurs in small sufferings. Your car breaks down on the way home from work with an assignment not started due the next day. The stress, the misfortune you experience in this moment, to you feels like World War II, though in reality it is only a minor obstacle. You will still manage to get home and complete the assignment to the best of your ability. And once it is all over, the relief you feel will be laughably greater than if this event hadn't occurred. Going into the next assignment, you can also positively reflect that it will be a breeze, as your car hasn't broken down in a crucial moment. This places the basis of small sufferings into a relatable concept of post-traumatic growth, or adversarial growth they call it. So if we suffer, if that suffering is handled correctly, we grow from that suffering. This is seen in traumatic events, big experiences, big growth. That can happen. It can be difficult to make happen as well. You really need that mentality to work for you. But imagine we could grab all the small sufferings which we experience, which we do experience, and we experience a lot of small sufferings, and we use that for growth as well. We're like, okay, we did this little bit of suffering, so let's just get that little bit of growth. Why not? And we kind of grow through our small sufferings. So that's the adversarial growth approach. The other part of it is that when you do suffer, then when you're not suffering becomes so much better. Because if we're stressing about having assignments due 24/7 or having exams due for 24/7, that is small suffering. You're stressed out, Once it's all handed in, once that moment's over, suddenly holidays is realised, guess what? You're happy, and you're even more happy than you would have been if you didn't go through that small suffering. Same with sickness is easy because sick, suffering, depleted, fatigued, can't be bothered doing anything, feel like crap, sickness over, you're on top of the world. You're being more productive than you've ever been in your life. You're back in the gym, you're back into everything. Life is great, and it's even better because you know what this feels like. Okay, this is the concept of small sufferings. You suffer now in small ways so that you can experience positive of the opposite regard going forward. You lose all your bets, yet you win in all your conversations. Karma, good and bad, align. So to inflict the negative, life hits you with a little insignificant sufferings, which provide a pathway for more goodness to be received. This could all be in outlook, though take notice when something negative occurs, somewhere in the future some form of reimbursement of equal opposite wealth takes place. Even if it is just perspective, conquering the negative is easier when there is a reason for doing so. Conquer this hurdle and believe good will come from it, rather than to sit in a pity fest of why me and why is this happening. Be hit by the equal opposite regard or feelings in life. It does take shape in positive and negative. Sometimes relationships, an example, we can feel so much love, and then when that relationship deteriorates, we can feel the equal opposite pain as well. It's like a yin and yang. It like crosses over, and it jumps between them. And you feel bad sometimes, and then you can feel the opposite of good, and then you can feel good sometimes, opposite of bad. Life kind of jumps between the two, and I see small sufferings as it is giving you those little ounces, those little doses of pain and suffering, so that you don't need to take it all at once, so that you don't need some tragedy to unfold in your life. And then we may experience the positives of those small sufferings as well. That is what small sufferings means. And to take it on with this mindset is to have a small suffering, and instead of sitting around complaining that you're too tired to do anything, you're too fatigued, or that your car broke down and life's unfair, and instead of complaining, it's about being like, okay, well, this is just a small suffering. It's just a bit of suffering, bit of karmic suffering that needs to take place so that I can feel its equal and opposite dimension somewhere in the future and experience that. And it gives more purpose to that suffering for sure. The main takeaway is just don't divulge yourself into your suffering. Don't complain about it. Move on and understand good things will be coming your way in the future. So yeah, don't destroy yourself due to one little thing causing you discomfort. Know that you'll get through it, and know that you'll be happy once you get through it, and you'll experience the equal and the opposite domain of freedom and enlightenment. Yay! Small sufferings are there to balance positive and negative in your life without too heavily impeding on how you live it. Negative energy converts to positive, so receive it in small insignificant events, then repel it into positive, more meaningful action. Essentially saying, get the bad little events and propel it into something that actually provides meaning and promotes purpose within your life. Build character from things that we usually complain about. Instead of complaining, be like, okay, little character building moment. Hell yeah, let's expand upon that and build ourselves through the small sufferings and not get so caught up in them. And that is small sufferings. Suffering equals positive effect. Suffering rids us of having to suffer to a massive degree to get rid of our karmic suffering. Little small ounces of suffering. It's good for us. We need it. We need something to think about. Where would our mind go if we didn't have something to stress about, you know? Not that you should be stressing too much. Your mind can be pretty exploratory as well. But stress is good. Pretty sure stress promotes something within us that is actually healthy, as long as we don't participate in extended periods of time. That's when you gotta come to some realizations. Okay, and if you are, come chat to us, because we'll figure it out. Anyway, small sufferings. Hope you enjoy. Hope this format's treating you kindly. And see ya.